Look at this crowd. These are the streets of New Delhi at night, packed with tens of thousands of young people occupying Jantar Mantar in the summer of 2026. They call themselves the Cockroach Janta Party. The name started as a dark joke. During a court hearing, the Chief Justice of India reportedly compared unemployed youth to cockroaches and parasites. Instead of shrinking away, these protesters embraced the insult and weaponized it into a unified political identity. Here, you can see 4 of these students demanding justice and a retest for the NEET medical exam. For millions of young Indians, a single entrance test is the only reliable path out of poverty. But between 2024 and 2026, systemic paper leaks in high-stakes exams like NEET and the UGC NET erased years of preparation, leaving countless futures in ruins. This banner spells out exactly what they want: the immediate disbanding of the National Testing Agency, the body responsible for these leaks, along with the resignation of the Education Minister. Despite weeks of sitting in the streets, the government has refused to negotiate or take responsibility. And this is how the state responded to those demands. Armed units of the Rapid Action Force were deployed against unarmed demonstrators. The government cracked down hard, firing tear gas and using batons to violently break up crowds marching toward Parliament. The movement is no longer seeking a better exam. It is seeking a different relationship with the state, one where administrative failure results in immediate, non-negotiable consequences for those at the top. That realization quickly extended past the testing agencies. The students started pointing at the wider architecture of the state, specifically India's premier investigative bodies like the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. These organizations exist to find the truth and prosecute corruption, but to the youth on the streets, they operate as a protection racket, shielding the ruling party from scrutiny while being actively deployed to harass and crush anyone who dissents. The mainstream media has actively reinforced this barrier. Instead of investigating the leaked exam papers or the resulting suicides, major news networks spent weeks attacking the students, framing their desperation as an anti-national conspiracy to destabilize the country. And then there is the ballot box itself. Look at this electronic voting machine interface. The Election Commission of India is supposed to be the ultimate impartial referee, yet public trust in the mechanical integrity of this very machine has steadily eroded. Opposition leaders have loudly accused the government of match-fixing the elections. They point to highly questionable deletions in draft voter rolls and demand paper ballots, arguing that the electronic outputs can no longer be trusted. With the media, the courts, and the Election Commission all pulling back from oversight, the youth are left in an accountability vacuum. In this environment, the formal institutions offer no path for grievance, leaving the electorate with a choice that feels entirely hollow. In a healthy democracy, this is the moment the political opposition steps in, absorbs the public anger, and offers a way to fix the system. So why hasn't that happened here? First, we have to look at the incumbent response.
As seen here, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his top cabinet leaders maintained near-complete silence regarding the exam leaks. Instead of addressing the crisis, they relied on arrests and police barricades to manage the optics. Here is Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Despite the documented failure of the exams under his watch and millions of ruined careers, he has flatly refused to resign, demonstrating a total absence of accountability at the highest levels. And here is opposition leader Rahul Gandhi. His party, the Congress, along with the India Bloc, staged high-profile sit-ins outside the Prime Minister's residence. The students largely viewed these stunts as opportunistic. The politicians were trying to hijack the media spotlight, rather than offering any concrete structural reforms. Meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party took a step back, pointing fingers at both sides. They accused the BJP and Congress of secretly colluding, performing a political theater that distracts the public while maintaining the profitable status quo. Then you have regional leaders like Akhilesh Yadav of the Samajwadi Party, seen here. They actively integrated the student outrage into their campaigns, but only to fuel local vote banks and social engineering strategies. Securing regional power took priority over fixing the national exam infrastructure. The youth on the streets saw right through this. They realized that swapping one political party for another does not fix a compromised system, because the politicians on both sides are playing by and profiting from the exact same broken rules. This is where the none of the above, or NOTA, button enters the picture. Introduced by the Supreme Court in 2013, It was designed to give voters a formal way to reject all the candidates on a ballot, registering their protest without staying home. Look at how it actually works in practice. Even if NOTA receives the absolute majority of votes, it does absolutely nothing. The candidate in second place, the one the majority of voters actively rejected, is still legally declared the winner. The cockroach movement decided to target this specific mechanical flaw. They are demanding a structural upgrade to NOTA, turning it from a symbolic button into a legally empowered fictional candidate that can actually win an election. This concept is already on the table. If you look at this flowchart based on a model from the Maharashtra State Election Commission, the logic is simple. If NOTA crosses the 50% threshold, results are instantly voided, forcing a mandatory repoll. The students added one critical condition. If voters trigger a repoll, every single candidate who lost to NOTA is permanently barred from running in the second round. By giving the rejection vote actual teeth, you create a permanent electoral pressure valve. Political parties can no longer rely on fielding candidates who lack integrity, because the voters now hold the legal power to terminate their campaigns entirely. This cockroach generation is moving beyond demonstrations. They have identified a mechanical lever in the law that, if activated, would force the political class to choose between genuine accountability or being removed from the ballot entirely.